market from a place of, I want to be your friend. I really care about you and I want to be your friend. And since then, the shift in my own marketing has been quite large.
Welcome to Marketing with Vino, the edutainment business growth podcast, mixing education and entertainment to make growing your service business much more fun. Your hosts, Quinton Venter, online marketing expert, and Gabby Kowalski, creator of the Business Freedom Formula, have a glass of wine and share powerful and up-to-date strategies to help grow your service business fast.
Hey guys, welcome. Another amazing episode. Marketing with Vino. Joining us is the most amazing Gabs.
Hello,
in
gorgeous.
person.
I know, how
Live.
exciting. Cheers. We're so excited. Quinton's down from Sydney. He's been hanging out in Melbourne with me for a little while. We've had so much fun. We went to Circus du Soleil. We went to an awesome restaurant. We went did a horse and carriage ride through Melbourne at night, so you could have an authentic, experience of what it would have been like hundreds of years ago before cars, right? Then we went to Louis Bar at the top of Rialto. Stunning views.
So we saw Melbourne from the sky, and it was breathtaking. It was beautiful to experience Melbourne. We've been very fortunate. I mean, I don't know, you can see much now, but the sun's actually shining. It's in Melbourne, the sun is shining. It's been 32 degrees yesterday. We went to the beach at St Kilda, did a bit of shopping around there. Been very fortunate and blessed with this weather, and we get to hang out in person. So this is going to be an extra special episode. Basically, Gabby and I last week, when we met up, we've been having lots of Vinos and lots of epic chats that sparked Marketing with Vino, and we actually recorded some of the conversations. But as the conversations evolved, one of the key things that came up was marketing, and of course marketing, but more in the context of there's so many things out there that's trying to overcomplicate marketing and trying to be the latest and the best or the greatest or the most efficient. But it shouldn't be that hard. It should really just be about the foundations, understanding the foundations of what marketing is.
It's too bright. Sorry, guys.
Of what marketing is, and then moving forward, applying the right tactics into the right marketing strategy that's going to ultimately get you the result. Because platforms change. I mean, since we started this whole podcasting show over a year ago, there's been new things that have come out. Facebook has evolved since we first started talking about what's hot on Facebook. So once we understand the foundations in this episode, we will know exactly how we can just apply the next platform's tactics to fulfill the entire journey. And it basically comes down to the journey or befriending your market. Nothing more, nothing less. Befriending your market in a way that they trust you, and they spend money with you, and they actively refer more people to come and spend money with you. Yeah. So you're building up a tribe.
Yes. So it's going market to tribe, and we went really deep on this. So Quinton has a genius. I believe he has a genius, and his genius is relationships. He's really phenomenal at creating and maintaining epic relationships. So, don't know what bucket you fall in. So you could be one of these people that just drives people. You're so good at staying connected with your friends. Then you could be one of these people that, quite frankly, if it wasn't for these types of people in your social circle, you probably wouldn't get much, you wouldn't have a great deal of socialization. So it's these people, that call you up and go, hey, what are you doing? Come and hang out on my boat, or come and do this, or come and do that, or hey, just sending you a message to say I love you, right? So people that are brilliant at maintaining relationships, also have the formula for succeeding in marketing. And we then went really deep on, okay, well, I totally unpacked Quinton's relationship genius, and we recorded it and was two nerds, so excited. And then during the process of sort of going, what is it? What do you do? What do you believe to be true? What drives this part in you? It all came down to this moment where oh my God, it's all about making your market your friend, not about making your market your prospect or your customer, but it's about making your market your friend. It's about having your market feel like they're a part of your tribe. And there's different ways you can do this, right? But have a look at how Apple's done it. Apple's built a tribe. Apple's built a following of people who, belong in the Apple family. And every time they launch a new iPhone, it's like them inviting the tribe to a new barbecue. And everyone's so excited that some people literally wait out the front, to get to the barbecue. They're there, well ahead of time. And so then we were like talking about, what does this really mean for you? And Quinton created this awesome system and this awesome formula, which I'd love you guys to have the gift of hearing about. That's why we wanted to chat to you about this. Before we get there, though, for me, and the biggest penny drop moment was, what if my intention was to, market from a place of, I want to be your friend. I really care about you and I want to be your friend. And since then, the shift in my own marketing's been quite large. So for example, right, I run a promotional event called Business Freedom Intensive. And it's literally a low ticket event where my market can come experience me at a sort of a low cost, high value, low risk kind of way. And from that event, I share my program, my mastermind with them. And some join and some don't, and that's completely cool, right? And so we're sitting there, and this penny drop moment of, if I was befriending my market, I wouldn't just invite them for a barbecue once. And if they don't stay on and, and decide to go on a holiday with me, so for argument's sake, if people are coming to the Business Freedom Intensive, the ones that decide to keep going on the journey with me, you kind of look at it like, you made a friend, you invited them to a barbecue, and then you said, hey, we're going to go for 2 weeks to Hawaii. Do you want to come? And then the ones that come to Hawaii go into the next level of friendship, but the ones that don't, what happens to them, right? And so that had me go, well, how could I create another place for them to be my friend? And instantly created a Facebook group called Business Freedom Tribe. So any single person in the past, right now, in the future, that partakes in my business freedom curriculum, where it may be the live event or future webinars, they get a place to hang out regardless of if they go to Hawaii with me or not. And this place, I was like, if I was to befriend them, I'd create this place for them and I'd give them more love. I'd host them even more. And so in this place, the Facebook group is purely for graduates of this particular course, and I love all over them in it. Meaning they've got extra resources, they get the recordings of the event that they can tap back into whenever they want to, and I'll share cool stuff with them along the way. So if I've got product launches, I'll share it in that group. So it's no different to then going, hey, you didn't want to come to Hawaii, but hey, we're going to go to Bora Bora. Do you want to come? Hey, you didn't want to go to Bora Bora, we're just going to go down to the local pub for a drink. Do you want to come? So it's like thinking of it like that, right? And as soon as I got this insight, the befriend your market, it changed the game for me. I was like, if my market was my friend, how would I do it differently? And then it's like, now I want to give more to my email list. I want to give more to my, my market at large. It stepped me up in a place where, I just want to friend them more. And literally this morning I woke up and I spent 2 hours private messaging all the people I've been chatting with about the Business Freedom Intensive, the ones that have signed up and are coming. I shared the link to the new Facebook group with them and just said, I'm excited to get to know you, had a bit of a chat. The ones that haven't purchased their tickets yet, just touch base and saw how they were going, let them know it's happening and if they want to come, and literally just having a chat, right? But the intention was so pure. The intention wasn't buy my shit. The intention was be my friend.
Yeah.
And to me, guys, that's epic. If you're hearing this and you're getting the genius of it the way I got it, I'm so happy for you. And now it's about going, okay, well, that's all good and great, guys. I get the concept, but how? How do I execute this in an effortless way? And for the genius strategy, for the master of relationships, for the ultimate maintainer.
This guy. I tell you what, Gabs, one of the key things that was insightful for me is when we had that initial chat, our heads just went boom, it just exploded. It was, we spoke about the dating analogy, how you date your market. But to me, it kind of felt limited because the whole thing about dating multiple people or several people or thousands of people at the same time, it may not sit well with everyone. Or maybe the person who's not as much a dater, someone who can't really relate with getting themselves out there, it would have been a complete mismatch. They would not have gotten the thing that was behind marketing. Whereas we can all relate with friendship. We can all relate with having that best friend or someone that we can rely on more than others. And generally we can connect with people on that level. So it just made sense to bring it down to, what if it's not about trying to get into their pants, but really just to befriend them and to enjoy the company for who they are. And that's where the magic lies. That was my penny drop moment.
Like, it was huge because, we're like, well, if you're making a friend, there's no motive. If you're dating, there's still a bit of a motive, right? It's like,
You're waiting for that day, yeah.
Yeah, you're like, let's just, I'm just going to say it. If you're dating someone, it's either, will you marry me, are you the one, or it's, how quickly can I get some action, right? Whereas if you're making a friend, that's not your intention. Your intention is not to marry them or to get laid. It's so pure. So this is where that shift was, oh my gosh, we're not dating the market. We're actually befriending it. And if we look at up-leveling the way that we friend people and really looking at, well, what do I do when I friend someone? What's the psychology? What's the intention behind that? It's definitely not, will you buy my product? Like, raise your hand if you love to meet that person who's trying to sell you on their business idea. No one wants that guy, likes that guy at the party who's trying to sell them insurance or trying to sell them an MLM opportunity. Hence, sometimes when we go market, that's what we look like. And there's like this oozy yuckiness of no trust there. So, to just get this, guys, imagine if when you marketed, it was, I want to be a friend. Here's some cool shit. I want to be a friend. Here's some value. I want to be a friend. Hey, here's a promotional offer. So promotional offers are like, come to my barbecue. Yeah. But this was cool. So what was cool was I said to Quinton, well, how does this work for you? And he goes, well, if I just SMS a mate and go, hey, I'm going to the gym, do you want to come? And if the mate says no, I don't get offended, upset, or go, hey, does he not like me? So when we market and people don't buy the product right there and then, in the first question or limited market, right? It's not about going, oh, no one wanted my product, this marketing strategy doesn't work. What do you do when your friend says, no, I can't make it today? You
just invite them again next time when you come around.
That's right.
You don't have to disregard that friend where it's like, you're not my friend anymore or whatever. You just continue the relationship as you would. You missed out on this awesome opportunity to come and train. That's up to you. But it's also not to put them down in terms of, hey, you're not my friend anymore, because you don't know what's going on in their world. You don't know what's going on for them, reason why they couldn't come to the gym. You don't know the reason why your prospects couldn't purchase at that point in time. Maybe life got in the way. Maybe something happened in the family, or maybe anything else happened, but you don't understand them. And until you understand them, then you can just accept it. And then it's the next time around. Hey, I'm going to the gym again. You want to tag along? I'm training biceps. You want to come along? Maybe they don't want to train biceps. Maybe they want to train legs. Whatever it may be.
Maybe they just want to sit there and watch you because, that's their thing.
So guys, that's when the penny dropped for me. And that just changed up everything. It just made so much sense with how Gabby is currently doing our marketing and how we're switching our marketing, our thinking around doing future marketing for our clients. So the strategy behind this purely is we start with getting ourselves out there. And the way that we get ourselves out there is through sharing our message. It's through sharing our story. And our story is generally our hero's story. It's our the good boy gone bad, good town boy, hometown.
Marketing expert.
Marketing expert, yeah.
Thank you, Vino.
So we have all these background stories, and using that story, then putting it together with your message. So Gabby's specific story is that she has gone through the sales training. She's become number one in her industry. She's now built up another business that has allowed her to have the freedom that she currently experiences, and the money and the time, and be able to make the impact that she wants to make. So she has her two current businesses. And on top of that, her message is you can be, do, and have it all right now.
All of it.
And that is how she's linked that together. So we simply started putting out content and we started sharing that message out to a cold market. It is no different than meeting the person for the very first time, going to a party.
And being you.
Exactly. Just being you for being naturally be you. and then starting to share, because when we meet someone for the first time, we probe them, we see if we're a match.
We ask questions. Like, it's
Exactly.
true, we share stories. Like, think about the last time you met someone that you just went, oh, they're epic, right? What was going on? They were asking you questions about you, you're sharing stuff with them, you know, and vice versa. It's what makes new friendships so exciting, because it's, you know, they haven't heard all your friggin' stories yet.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, a new person to tell my stuff to. And this is where, you know, from a marketing perspective, I love this. It's just the first thing you go out with is not an offer. It's not a come to my barbecue. You know, if you walked into a party and you yelled out to everybody, hey, come to my barbecue, what would they think?
Who's this loser?
Who is this friggin', exactly, right? Like, whatever, I don't know you. Like, why should I come to your barbecue?
Yeah.
Yeah, whereas if you, instead this person walks in and they're like, hey, how are ya? And they got to know you and they shared some cool, like, beautiful stuff, and you got, hey, we share the same values. So I love this, because number one for Quinton was, what's your story? What's your message? You know, let's first market that. Let's first share that as content through social media, you know, through email list, whatever. Like, you know, share it to the call, share it to the open market, share it to the brand new party filled with people you've never been at before.
You basically become the life of the party, because what happens is when people start tagging their friends in your post and they start commenting on it, it's no different than being that person in the party who it's like, have you met Gabby? Have you met her? She's freaking awesome. You need to go and talk to her. That's the engagement that we're creating, and people can see that. It's no different than being surrounded by that group of people and you're telling this amazing, engaging story and everyone wants to hear about it. That is the proof of social media. It's a phenomenal way that we can make that happen. So we share some of Gabby's content and her message and her story out to a cold audience, and then simply Facebook allows us to retarget them. It allows us to get in touch with those people who have engaged, who have commented, who have shared, and we can then follow up with them with an irresistible offer.
Barbecue.
The barbecue. That's the irresistible offer. It is simply something that we know people want to come to, and we make it available for them at a very, very, very irresistible offer. If someone loves steak, for example, we would have the barbecue that we will make the best steak. Like, guaranteed. It will be the best steak they've ever tasted, or their money back.
That's right. If you're a vegan, no animals were harmed in the production of this barbecue.
Or if it's a social gathering, cocktails or whatnot, but you get the idea. It's something that is irresistible to what your market then wants.
Yeah, which is promotional. Like, just get this, guys. It's definitely not walking into a party and going, hey, buy my product. Hey, I sell cars. Come and see me at the dealership and I'll hook you up. Okay, buddy. And it's still not that in phase 2. In phase 2, when we meet a friend that we like, they're not getting to know us and within 5 minutes trying to sell us their shit. You know, just get that. Like, I'm sure I've had those experiences where I'm out somewhere and, you know, there's like, when they try and sell you, it's like, dude, no, like, don't try and sell me your shit. I don't want your business opportunity. I don't want to sit through your presentation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the next thing is, 1, share you with them. Like, connect, even like within your content, ask questions, get them to comment below with what their thoughts are. Like, it could be share your story, you know, share your message, and then ask them to let you know what they think and to share and have a conversation, and then they'll comment with answers. Then retarget those people who are now your acquaintances with a come to my barbecue, and that could be a, hey, 50% off a facial. It could be a cheap ticket to an event. It could be a free blah blah blah. You know, it could be a free something free, something reduced, something cheap.
Yeah.
You know, and this is where the barbecue is, like I said, high value, low risk. You know, and then what do we do? So number 1, share your story. Number 2, invite them to the barbecue.
I'll tell you what we don't do before we go to what we do.
This is what you don't do.
So before we came to this realization, what we used to do is we'd send people to an opt-in page, to a squeeze page, to a landing page, and then we'd hope that they would go and opt in, that they would give us their details, right? So that is, I see less and less of that, and I see more in the way that we are currently going, that people don't want to leave the platform that they love spending so much time on. People don't want to go off to another website when they click on Facebook that's going to take them somewhere else, and then you have to go and resell the same concept and the same idea again, and then hoping that they would actually take action and opt in. Whereas right now, what we're doing, is we're keeping them on the platform that they're most familiar with. We're asking them for a very simple call to action in terms of comment if you're interested below, or comment yes, or I'm in, or whatever it may be for the call to action. And Gabby's actually going and personally following up with them through her business page and making a friend, getting to know them, as opposed to sending them to a website, which is no different than giving someone a flyer and saying, buy my stuff. Because at the end of the day, we want to get to know the person that we're talking to better than they know themselves. So this is the key thing with your best friend. You know your best friend already. You know what makes them tick. You know the hot buttons to push.
But not a new friend.
Not a new friend. But we're getting to that stage where we can get to know them in a way that we don't have to, with your current best friend, you don't have to do any special sales courses or tactics in order to influence them on a book that you want them to read, or to come and watch a movie with you, or to come to your barbecue or whatnot. They simply would take your advice for what it is and say, like, here, you need to read this book. Whatever it is, we have the skills already to influence those people around us. And if they like and trust us, they don't need any further convincing.
That's right. And so just to show you how we're doing this, so for argument's sake, there's a really cool content piece, which is speaking to my ideal client. And like it's, cool stuff. And then it's, hey, I'm running a workshop on the 26th of March. It's 20 people, all high-level overachievers just like you. We're going to be talking about these topics. We're going to be, it's $47 early bird. If you want into this room, comment below with Business Freedom, and we'll send you the details. And then they comment below with Business Freedom, right? And then I get in and I private message them. Now it does vary. Like this is where, to me, just get this right. I thought at first I was templating this, and I actually found the templating approach wasn't working. Why? Because when you meet new people, let's face it, right? Do you have the exact same conversation with each one, or do you kind of switch a little bit depending, right?
You switch it. It's not going up to, hi, my name is Quentin.
You kind of like feel the vibe, and it's a little bit different with the different characters. So then it's literally a, hey, thanks for your comment. Here's the details, and then I ask them questions. So at the beginning, I was just asking a question before I sent the details with the event. And then I was like, well, you know what? Not really. They've just gone, hey, share the cool thing with me. Like if you're in a conversation with a friend and you say, hey, I've got the best friggin' like muffins, do you want one? And they're like, yeah, I do. You don't just hold on to the muffin and start asking them qualification. Well, it's true, right? So at first I was kind of holding my muffin. And I'm like, okay, well, before I give you the muffin, let me ask you this stuff. Now, for some people, that's okay, but for some people, it's going to piss them off, right? So then I thought to myself, well, that's not authentic. It's like, hey, dude, nice to meet you. You just had the best muffin. It's all, like you're at a party. You've got a platter of food. Oh my God, this muffin is phenomenal. Do you want some? And your friend goes, yeah. Or your new friend goes, yeah. You don't go, okay, well, first up, do you not just make sure you're allergic to peanuts? Who does that, right?
Have you had a bad experience with muffins?
Have you ever, exactly. What are you really wanting to get out of a muffin? You just go, here, have a friggin' muffin. That's the normal human way of doing things.
Yeah.
And then you can have a chat about the muffin. So what I've been doing instead now is I'm like, hey, thanks for your comment. Here's the link. By the way, what is your business? And then they tell me, and then we just chat about that. And for some of them, it's really quick. It's like, and for some of them, they write me like these big, long messages, and then we go deeper. So no different at a party, right? You could be like, these muffins are awesome. I want one. Here you go. What do you think of the muffin? It's good. All right. Yeah, somebody else could go, oh my God, and they tell you a story about a muffin.
Yeah.
Everyone's different. And so, like I said, at first I was templating this, and I found it wasn't working as well. And now I'm like, you know what? No, screw this. My intention is to make a friend. And because I want to make a friend, I want, if you ever, guys, this is my ode to you, if you ever see me market without relationship building in the future, you can private message me, and if you ever see me just drive traffic straight to a landing page versus building a relationship first, please, PM me and say, Gabby, you suck. Now, for some of you, you might be hearing this and you might be thinking, well, that's a lot of work. But you know what? Conversions have increased tremendously. This strategy works so much better. Plus, when the person, so say for example, your thing would be 50% off a facial, right? Now, cold market, just met you a little bit, likes your content, hey, have 50% off a facial, cool. Now that's one person coming in, they barely know you and they're arriving to your barbecue a little bit unsettled. Then other person, 50% off facial, great, here it is, by the way, and some industry related conversation, tell me a little bit about, what you're after so we can make sure we give you the best facial experience. And then they go, oh, cool, and then you chat, you're like, Now that person walks in to that barbecue and how do they feel?
They feel welcome. They feel like they're part of the family
They're
already.
excited.
They know you on a whole nother level, and you know them on a whole nother level. You see, the difference between this approach than how we used to do this, we're filling up Gabby's events. She knows everyone that's coming into the room right now, and they know her. That is key, because what that means at the end of the day, conversions go up. Because right now, it is actually costing us less to get people to come to this event.
Funny, isn't it?
It's
Our
incredible.
actual ad spends dropped tremendously.
To give you guys an idea, so we used to spend about $1,000 per month plus on Gabby's campaigns to fill up the event. Right now, it's been since the 1st of February, and today is the 20th of March.
It's averaged out to about $600, so it's reduced by 40%.
Exactly, so it's reduced significantly, and what we're finding is it's a better quality person that comes to the event as well. Because you know what business they're in, you can pre-qualify the room or you can pre-calibrate the room.
And give so much more value and love.
You can give.
Yep.
And to top it all off, Gabby has now added on top of it her extra community. So what this means in terms of
More
friendship, it's more love, but it's no different than being at the barbecue.
This is like
then,
you get to take a plate home. Like
yes.
Yeah.
You now have something to give back, and they'll always remember you for it, and you'll be part of that little community that will always be invited. So not only do you know Gabby, but you know everyone else in that community as well. So you can start to share your numbers across, and that's the relationship building aspect. You're building up a tribe, you're building up a community. It's building up your database, but a database that loves you, that loves hearing from you. When you share something, they get excited as opposed to, oh, I don't want to read this right now.
They want to come to your barbecues, because they know that you're an ultimate host.
Yeah.
Like to me, it's the looking at hosting, and there are people out there that are phenomenal hosts, and there are people out there that suck at hosting. You get to their house and, they don't offer you a drink. They don't tell you where the toilet is. They're sitting there literally freaking drinking a drink and not even like, hey, so how have you been? That's like that side of hosting. Then there's the ultimate host who, does everything. They've got platters out. They've rolled out the red carpet. They take you through a tour. There's the toilet. There's this. Would you like a drink? There's the open bar. Otherwise, I can do, I want you guys to think that marketing is no different to the way we interact in real life. The moment you get, marketing is not a strategy. It's not some weird, demystified thing. It's how do we connect with people? And how do we do that? Well, we do it organically. This is when Quinton sort of shared that with me. I was like, oh my God. I'm not dating my market. I'm friggin' making it my friend. And how do I make friends? I'm generous. That's my natural thing. I'm going to install even more generosity into my marketing because that's authentically how I already make friends.
Yeah.
You might be entertaining. You might be super funny. And now you go, oh, in my marketing, I've got to be extra funny because that's how I make friends. Or give me another one.
Well, you said it, generosity, and a way to being funny. When you look at it, you already know all the answers. It's no different than just tapping into who you are. No one can tell you how to make a better friend than what you already know. You have the evidence already there, so therefore you can't be taken advantage of.
Yeah.
In terms of no marketing agency can take advantage of you by saying, we're going to go this way and this is how you're going to befriend your market. You would know better.
Yeah.
You would know better what to happen.
And it happens, guys. So many people I see hiring marketing agencies to do stuff for them, and I just think, whoa, their marketing all of a sudden is a complete mismatch. They're just templated bullshit things, and they've gone back to being that wanker at the party. It's true. Yes, some of it might work quickly, but long term, you're not building an empire. You're not building a long-sustaining business that has a raving fan tribe.
Yeah.
You're just getting some quick bucks, and it's expensive. So to make the money is actually quite expensive because you're trying to use the law of scarcity. You're trying to just be clever about it scientifically without tapping into what makes you a true good friend. So here's a cool one. Guys, I've got a challenge for you. drum roll, I'd love you to, when you listen to this podcast, get off it. And I want you to ask your 5 most closest friends, ask them, what is it that had you want to be my friend? What about me specifically, had you want to keep me as a friend? And then whatever the answers are, I want you to think of how can I add this to my marketing?
Very good. I want to add one more thing to that. One key element to marketing is knowing your metrics, understanding your numbers so that you know whether or not your campaign is working or it's failing. Understanding this strategic approach, you can now go and quantify how many people you've reached out to, how many people have inquired, how many people have successfully taken the offer, come to your barbecue, and how many people have gone to the next stage after your barbecue, who has come on a holiday with you. Now you can quantify those processes so you know where the weakest link is. Maybe you shouldn't be doing barbecues anymore. Maybe you should be going to the movies or going here, going to the park or going to the beach, whatever that may be for you. Now you can quantify it so that you can increase your results, therefore you know whether or not your marketing is actually working.
Yeah, and this is really important because, to really get this is like, so step 1, message, share your brand, share your personality, right? Like go out there, actually talk to people. Don't go to the party to stand there like a loser. Go and say hi. So step 1, say hi. Step 2, invite them somewhere. So take them off the plane you met them and invite them somewhere. Step 3 is in that invitation, you want to set up something bigger. So for argument's sakes, it could be for them to purchase a program, a package, whatever. For some of you with, restaurateurs, for example, you just want to wow their socks off, so they do want to come back and time and time again. You might give them, after the first thing, you might even give them a voucher for a group of 6+ or something, right? But it's that first barbecue is one where you're wanting to wow their socks off, not overpromise and underdeliver. Not when you go 120 and then when they come back you're doing 80%. It's just what can you, ideally you want to sell them onto something with you that's bigger, better, more commitment, right? Like the Hawaii trip. And you want to measure what barbecue is getting you the most people to come to Hawaii.
It sounds like we are some form of MLM,
Why?
hosting parties and barbecues.
Is that what they do?
No, it just sounds like it. Like, come over to my barbecue, but guys, you know what I mean.
It's a metaphor.
You guys know what to do, so by that, it's been an amazing episode.
Well, more to that though, I'd really love you to share the
Okay.
measuring thing a little bit more. So, Quinton does my measurements for me, and I really do find that valuable. For some of you, it'd be hire someone to do the back end for this kind of stuff. Like a lot of business owners don't do their testing and measuring. But what I'm trying to say, and what Quinton's saying, is just because you created some form of a barbecue, right? You created some offer, to share with them. If that offer's not converting, if that offer's not having them stick with you, then you've got to be willing to test different ones. You're also, you've got to be willing to look at improving that offer, so that's what Quinton's getting at. If you're going, oh, well, I did the barbecue and it didn't work, you're missing this fundamental thing. So could you go a little bit deeper with them?
Yeah, sure. So the key metric that we need to know is our lifetime value of a customer. We need to know what are they worth to us during the entire lifetime that they're with us. So the way that you get to that number would be your average order value, so the average amount that they spend with you, how frequent they spend it with you per annum, and then how long they stay with you in an annum, per annum interval. Then you now would know what a customer is worth to you in the long run. So this is how gym owners, for example, would know that each and every month that the person spends X amount of dollars with them and they roughly stay for about 1.5 years, they would now quantify how much that customer is worth to them. In order to make your marketing work, your cost per acquisition needs to be less than your lifetime value of a customer.
And if they didn't understand what cost per acquisition meant,
The cost per acquisition is purely what is it currently costing you to acquire that customer? What are you currently spending money on, and how many are you getting back in return per campaign?
Yep.
And this is where it becomes key, because if you understand your CPA, your cost per acquisition numbers, you can now also go and look at, maybe you shouldn't go get new friends. Maybe you just need to look at the friends that you already have, because you don't need to go and spend more money to get new customers coming through your door. You can just go and monetize the customers that you already have, get them to spend more money with you more frequently. And that oftentimes has a higher yield in return as to opposed to how much you're spending in order to acquire them. So once you know your numbers in terms of what is it currently costing you to get someone to come through the door in order to spend money with you, that's game changer. Because now you can just halve that number and that becomes your marketing budget. That becomes your beginning of marketing budget so that you know for every dollar that you're spending, you're getting $2 in return. Because if your lifetime value of a customer, let's say, break it very simple, is $100, your cost per acquisition can't be any more than $50. For every $50 that you spend, you're getting $100 back. You're getting 2-to-1 return on investment. Then obviously from that benchmark, you can go and play around with it. You can try and bring that number down to about $25 or $20 or $10, and therefore you're increasing your profit margin. But not only that, if you understand that your lifetime value only comes a month, 6 months, a year later, you can now start to pre-plan how much you can actually afford to acquire this customer. You don't need to necessarily just do a 2-to-1 return on investment. I mean, at the end of the day, if you know that every year this customer is worth $100 to you, the first year you could spend $99 to acquire this one customer and you'll still break even. Because the following year, if you know that your nurturing is so great that your friends love hanging out with you the whole time, they don't come and go after 6 months, that is when you know that your systems are working. That's when you know that your business is going to turn over long term, as opposed to you just need to get quick sales happening here and there. That would be the main numbers to understand when it comes to marketing, because now you can go and reverse engineer the entire process. If your average customer is worth $100 to you and you want to sell 10 products in a month, that will give you $1,000 worth. Your ad spend isn't any more than $500. That's a 2-to-1 return on investment. So you can now spend.
It depends too. Honestly, depending on the nature of your business.
Oh, absolutely. This is just some basic numbers. Yeah. Whatever this applies to.
Please get that what Quinton's not saying it has to be a 50% thing. It's so really, I would not want a 50% thing. That wouldn't work for me. But somebody else, like a business coach who's selling a pure online product that's automated and they have zero involvement with, right? Then you can even up that further. Because even if you spend $80 to get one client who gives you $100, you made $20 and it's automated.
Exactly.
It's easy money, right? So it's like, to me, it's more of depending on, what's the deliverables on this, and then it's what's the profit you're after with this person.
Absolutely.
When does it make it? To me, it's that. Then it's about going, okay, well, what am I willing to give? It's funny. There's a client who beauty industry has a beauty salon, and I was saying to her, okay, let's do an invitation offer, promotional offer, which is think of something really awesome and let's give it to them at a reduced price. So like a $300 beauty package for $60. And she goes to me, well, I don't make any money on that. No, actually, I said to her, what's the cost price of this for you? How much would it cost you to put this out, to pay your staff, for argument's sake? Just the cost of deliverables. And she goes, $60 blah 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 dollars. I'm like, okay, cool. Let's give them 60% off or whatever. I can't remember the exact numbers.
Yeah. And
do it at that. And she's like, oh, but I don't profit. I'm like, you're not getting it.
Exactly. It's too short-term thinking with I need to make money on the front end. But once you understand your metrics and you understand what is the lifetime value of your customer, if you're spending $60 to get a $2,000 customer come through the door, that's win-win in anyone's books.
That's right. And no different to inviting some friends over to your home for a barbecue. You've bought the food, you've brought the wine. Yes, some people bring some stuff, but it's always more expensive for the host unless the host has specifically said BYO everything, including a chair. Usually, traditionally, right, when someone hosts a dinner, it's more expensive for us.
Absolutely, yeah.
We're giving to our tribe, right? So why do we do that? We don't do that because we think that the people that are going to come are never going to come again. We're investing in our friendship. This is where you're investing in your client. You're investing in the relationship of it. So if you're thinking, I need to profit on the first barbecue, you've got it all wrong. Some of you, for me, I go backwards. Because I know, what I give my people at the barbecue, like selling a ticket to the Business Freedom Intensive at $47 early bird, giving them the bonuses now, giving them the recordings, like it's crazy value, and if like really it's crazy. I'm giving them all my IP. I'm giving them 15 plus years of experience, over $250,000 I've invested in myself to learn this shit. Like it's friggin' stupid value, right?
And they get an hour with you when you upgrade to VIP.
Yeah, and VIPs, my God, like for $100 they get a full session with me, which is normally $500, plus a whole bunch of cool marketing resource. There's like $2,000 worth of value just there. Why do I do this? Because I'm investing in the friendship. It's me inviting someone to my barbecue that I want to be a friend with for life.
Yeah.
Or for a while, and this is where make the shift. Jump on this friggin' train, guys. Like jump in on, let's make our market our friend. Let's befriend it. But before you can do any of that, you've got to know who you are and who your market is, because you want to make sure you're marketing to the right people.
Yeah.
You need to know what's your story? Well, who is this brand that you're putting out there? What's the message? Who is the part of the party that you want to play with? And for some of you, it's going to be like, go do some deep avatar work.
Absolutely.
Like, is my market that I'm currently marketing to people I want to have in my tribe? For some of you, it might be oh shit, I fucking hate my market. I don't really want to invite them to the barbecue. And that's a whole other project on its own.
That's a whole other thing. Reminds me of another story of a client that we're working with Crust. And so we're working with this one particular crust store, and they currently have an issue with menu log. So the business has been flourishing for the past 6 years, and all of a sudden they're now seeing a decrease, or they've been seeing a constant decrease over the past few years, and they decided to go on board with menu log. And when we first started working with this client, and he asked me, what do I think about menu log? And my answer to him was that depends on where you're at in your business, because right now where he is, he's got an established business in the territory that he already has. Menu log on top of that is taking a percentage of every order that goes through it, right?
Yeah.
So he's now spending money through menu log to acquire the customers that he already has in his database. Like, that to me is silly, because you're already spending money on the people you already have, as opposed to being a brand new business and you can access menu log's database, and then of course you give them a 10% cut on every sale that you make, because now you're acquiring a customer that's a little bit expensive on the front end, but you can now go and look after him. So what we've done is we've literally uploaded his entire database onto Facebook, and from that it was a perfect match as to how many people in his database actually have a Facebook account. And what we've done is we simply just re-invited those people that he already have in his database to come back to the shop. Don't have to pay menu log for that. Don't have to do a menus drop for that. Don't have to pay in flyers or whatever. Simply just put a simple thing out there saying, hey, thank you for your support. Dessert's on me. Come back in. So what I gave him is we're now starting to look at how can we increase his frequency that these people are coming to purchase pizza per year. Right now it's as low as I believe it was 1.56 times average per annum. So it's not a whole lot. That's like 12 months someone comes to the store one and a half times. That's nothing. But you always have your customers on the other side of the spectrum who come 12 times. So we're trying to bring that average up so that we can at least get it to the number 2. What that means to his bottom line is an extra 180K. That is the power of when you start to look at who you already have in your circle, who you already have in your database, and you start monetizing them and getting them to spend more money with you more frequently. And then on top of that, you get them to invite other people to the barbecue, right?
Yeah.
You get them to start referring, and that's what happens when you get testimonials. From this particular crust store, all of a sudden, everyone that's already part of their friends, that are already spending money there, the engagement that they're getting on Facebook, it spreads out. So therefore, everyone else is seeing how much love they are getting from this one store that's specifically targeted to everyone who's already shopped there. They want to be part of it. So they start to jump on, which means it's cheaper to acquire a brand new customer as it is to spend $50,000 on doing a menu drop to hopefully get one that you can't even track properly.
Yeah.
So this is a complete game changer when you look at it from the point of how much is it costing you to get someone through the door, how much is it costing you to keep someone through the door, and how much is it costing you to get someone to spend more money with you more frequently.
Love that. Thank you. So freaking cool.
Absolute pleasure.
That was awesome. Love unpacking the stuff in his head that he thinks is just like, what do you mean?
It's
like
every day.
What? Huh? You need more detail on that? Oh, look, Quinton, thank you so much. And it's been a phenomenal few days spending time with this guy physically. We spend time virtually a lot. But physically, giving him cuddles, loving up on him. And this unpack, this like really going deep on relationship building. Like this conversation, we hope, has taken relationship marketing to a whole friggin' other dimension with you. Yeah?
Absolutely.
Because it's like, people talk about relationship marketing, but I've never heard it mentioned like this before. Like, it wasn't until a couple of days ago we're sitting there and this conversation came out and we just went, whoa, like, this is it. Like, befriend your market. Treat your market like you treat your friends. And the moment you start being sleazy, your friends are going to leave. So maintain, I know, I've got awesome friends. Like, think about it, Quinton, you're my friend. Yeah. If I started being all weird and cheesy and trying to get you to buy shit off me all the time.
What the hell's going on?
Yeah, you'd be like, what happened to Gabby? Like, you would. If honestly, and I could, I've got products to sell, right? But yeah, so just get that, guys. Love on them. Love your market. Peace out. Thank you, genius man.
Ciao. Until next time, guys.
You've been listening to Marketing with Vino. If you enjoyed this episode and want to access the resources discussed in this episode, go to marketingwithvino.com and select which episode you've listened to.